So I'm finding it difficult more and more to make videos about any specific topic. I don't get very enticed or excited by thinking of things to make videos about anymore. And what really just makes me feel good is feeling myself and sitting in my authenticity and just kind of letting the camera record while I do that and see what comes up and see what wants to be talked about. I feel like I'm diving into a lot of unknown territory within myself lately. And I'm not sure in this moment how there's like how I feel about it and then how I think I should feel about it. And I think that I'm worried that by making videos like this with just me and my authenticity, that it's going to repel a lot of people away from my videos. I have the belief that people will think that they're boring and that they're not very insightful. But I feel like all I really ever want to do anymore and all that really gets me excited is to show people how to be authentic and be in the moment and feel themselves and be truthful with themselves. I am working on my own integration and I want to show people what that looks like. And I want to show people that it's okay to integrate with aspects of yourself that you don't necessarily care for, that the only way to really sort of overcome a certain emotional attachment or trauma that is within you, sort of trapped, is by actually feeling it, letting it come to the surface, and being okay with it. We all want to be one and we all want to be whole and integrated. And we know that we are everything. And yet when we take a look at what's deep inside of us and we see that we have unworthiness and we have jealousy and we have shame, we say, oh, I'm trying to be one. I can't integrate with you. You're holding me back. And it's just the funniest thing, because if you're one with everything, then you are shame and you are anger and jealousy and all these things that people typically don't want to feel. And so we say, oh, I'm just going to meditate and I'm going to think about being love and light. And you're basically ignoring an aspect of yourself, and you will never be able to become whole if you are running away from any part of yourself, which is everything in existence and every emotion and every traumatic event. And so until you learn to feel and be absolutely okay with feeling, all these different emotions, then you're going to feel separated, and you're also going to manifest scenarios in your life and pains within your physical body that are basically here to say, hey, you've got something to work on, you've got blockages within you. And I've found that it pretty much always has to do with emotional attachment or aversion or traumatic blockages within our body that we have to go deep within ourselves and feel And once we've integrated with them and said, it's okay for you to be here, and it's okay for me to feel this emotion, and we accept it completely, and we drop all resistance to it, then what happens is that these scenarios that keep popping up and keep giving us struggle simply go away, because there's no need for them to be in our lives anymore, because we have now resolved and integrated what they were trying to get us to integrate. And it goes with physical pain as well. Every discomfort that you feel in your body is also associated with some sort of emotional attachment or resistance. And you may say to yourself, I don't need to do any of this emotional work. I just need to sit down and meditate and be with the source and be with oneness. And I would say that I totally agree with you, and I would also ask you how it's working out for you and how often you actually sit down and meditate. I agree that meditation is the fastest way to wholeness. The problem is, even though we all may know this, we don't actually do it. Not enough to actually make it more efficient than doing the emotional work. If you can sit down all day, every day, and just meditate and feel everything out and have no resistance and no attachment to anything, and just let things arise and sit with them and watch them, and you can do that for hours on end every single day, then I would say yes, all you need is meditation. But there are very few of us who actually can do that. And a lot of it is because we have so much emotional blockages within us that it's very challenging for us to do anything whenever we sit down and meditate and stuff starts to come up for us that's, ready to potentially be released. Then we think, oh, it's time to eat, or I gotta be doing something. I'm not being productive right now. And it's all just this avoidance to avoid the emotional work. And sometimes it's so intense within a lot of us that we can't just sit down and work with that. And so what I found is it's most efficient for a lot of us, and especially in my own experience, that we actually do some conscious emotional deep diving and finding out what is there for us and what is there that we can pinpoint and then release right now, so that way it makes it so we have less baggage, so that way we can sit down and meditate more with ease, with less pain, and with less manifestations of crazy stuff happening in our lives, trying to get us to feel these emotions that we're resisting. And I want people to understand that feeling these emotions, even like while you're meditating and having all these crazy, unstoppable thoughts that you can't control, is part of the cleansing process. This is all the junk that you have stored inside of you, that you have attachment to, and seeing this like out of controlness, all these emotions, and it's just like you can't take it, and oh my god, my thoughts are going crazy and I just want it all to stop, and I'm getting cravings and all this. This is such a good thing. This does not mean that you're failing. This is part of the process. This is the healing process. You have to go through the detox symptoms, and you have to let all the garbage out, and then it'll start to get easier. But most people just give up right when they start to think too much, or right when they start to feel too much. And so I want you to be okay with feeling everything that comes up, and to be okay with not being in control. I want you to be okay with your desires. I want you to be okay with your resistances and your aversions, because all they really want is for you to feel them, and you're just kind of pushing them in the corner and saying you're bad and you're not helping me and I'm trying to attain oneness, but you need to leave. And these things aren't good or bad, these emotions, they're not negative or positive. They're just certain frequencies of energy that we have developed a resistance to growing up because of some sort of scenario that happened in our life or some belief that was programmed into our minds. So I believe it's most beneficial if you don't ever think of anything as bad or good, but just something that you have a programmed resistance to. And all we're trying to do here, all we're focused on, is figuring out where the resistance comes from and then understanding the resistance so that way we can drop the resistance and allow that energy frequency to integrate back within us so that way we can become more whole. Believe me when I tell you that we want to be depression, and we want to be anger, and we want to be murder, and we want to be rape just as much as we want to be peace and love and light and joy. We want to be everything, and the only thing that still brings us suffering is our resistance to everything. Always look at the resistance. What's triggering you? What are you resisting? What feels like, I don't want that in my life? Notice that. Really, really, really focus your life on noticing these things. This is what we're here to work on. Find your triggers, even if they're small, and be truthful with yourself, even if it sucks, and even if you say, God, I did not want to find out that I still have this inside me. I really don't like this, but it's there. And you've got to tell yourself that, because that's going to initiate the actual searching for the dropping of the barrier between you and that. So that seems like it's about all that's coming to me right now. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I really would appreciate feedback on how you like this video and if you feel satisfied with these authentic videos, or if you really want more like structured, pre-planned things. So I thank you for your time, and I'll talk with you in the next video. Love you.